Hi, this is Edward Pritchett, Executive Vice President with Symmetry Financial Group, and welcome to our corporate overview. This is a quick 20-minute pre-interview covering why we do what we do, how we do it, and who we're looking to bring aboard as partners with us on our business team. What we're really looking for is a fit. You have to be a fit for us, and we have to be a fit for you. What this corporate overview is intended to allow you to do is see whether or not you would be a fit for what we're looking for and help us to make a decision based on what you take from this of whether or not you would be a fit for us. So let's jump into why we exist and why we do the things that we do. Symmetry Financial Group was founded back in October of 2009 by Brandon Ellison, Casey Watkins, and Brian Pope. The three of them came together looking to build a company that could bring work-life balance back to the insurance agent. That was the original purpose of the name Symmetry. It comes from that ideal of balance, that agents would be able to go out, see clients in a way that they had time to spend the money that they were making and not be caught up in the day-to-day struggle of prospecting and reaching out time and time and time again to try to find clients to sit with. The other part of this balance was sharing the wealth of opportunity that we have within Symmetry, and that is that in 2014, and this is according to the U.S. Department of Treasury life insurance industry report, there is $1.23 trillion in revenue generated in this industry. Factor on top of that the $8.3 trillion in assets that the insurance industry has, and you see that this is a industry that has a lot to offer, but there are very few people that are sharing in that wealth. And that was one of the things that both Brandon, Casey, and Brian saw, that if we could help people share in this tremendous opportunity and everybody can participate in that, we can build a company that has longevity and that people could really benefit from. And that's where that ideal came from, that ideal of symmetry, balance for our agents. This all started with our business foundation, the core foundation of what we do. That starts with the ideal of mortgage protection. When we go out to see a client, we're talking with agents that are working with clients who have recently purchased or refinanced a home. Right now, there's over 88 million homeowners in the U.S. that could potentially benefit from mortgage protection insurance. What is mortgage protection insurance, you may ask? Mortgage protection basically covers a family in the event that one of the primary breadwinners were to pass away. Our carriers will step in to take care of that mortgage, whether that's paying off the full mortgage or making mortgage payments for a specific period of time. So one of the things that we do is we have an in-house mail system that sends out letters to people who have these kind of mortgages. We ask them, excuse me, Mr. Homeowner, you have a $180,000 mortgage. You qualify for mortgage protection insurance that would pay off that home in the event of death, disability, or critical illness. If you're interested, send us this form back and we'll have an agent contact you to see what we can do to help you out. And that's what our agents are able to work off of. This helps them get their time back. They're not prospecting for 10, 12, 15, 20, 40 hours a week to find people who are looking to buy insurance coverage. They're talking to the 1 out of 100, and yes, I did say that, 1 out of 100 people that we send this letter to send it back to us. And that's who our agents are calling to set up a time to show them what they're able to qualify for. In addition to mortgage protection, part of our business foundation is helping the baby boomer generation, the 78 million Americans who have mortgages, who have retirement plans, who have 401ks, and they're getting ready to phase into that next step in their life cycle. And we're able to help them save and protect the qualified retirement savings that they have that they haven't paid taxes on as of yet, and they're getting ready to roll them into the tax payment portion of their retirement funds. So we're able to help them move that money, help them protect that money, and we do this using still the mortgage protection system because those are the people that still have mortgages that they're looking to protect. So this is the foundation of our model, is that mortgage protection side of what we do. What this leads us to is the SFG system. The system that we have is, of course, first and foremost, the lead generation, and that's that direct mail marketing. And again, 1 out of 100 people send this back. So we have a 1% return ratio on that mortgage protection direct mail piece that we send out, and that's what our agents are calling. This is backed up by the metric-based SFG sales system. So we have a sales system that, after 6 years in this particular industry, just doing what we do today, as Symmetry is 6 years old as of 2009, we know the numbers that are needed to get agents in front of clients. In addition, our principals, Brandon Ellison, Casey Watkins, Brian Pope, they have been in this industry, Brandon and Casey, for over 15 years, and Brian Pope was one of the innovators in the direct mail marketing campaign for mortgage protection over 25 years ago. So we have an ideal of what you need to do as far as how many people you need to call in order to get X number of appointments per week in order to sell X number of products or X number of closes for a particular week. And that allows us to really tailor fit an agent's overall goal week to week based on what they're trying to do. If you're trying to make on a part-time income basis, and we'll talk about compensation here in a minute, but on a part-time basis, you're trying to make $1,000 or $2,000 a month, we know exactly what numbers you need in order to do that. If you're trying to make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, and this is going to be your full-time position, we know exactly what numbers you need, starting with how many leads that you need to originally get, to how many calls you need to make, to how many appointments you need to book in order for you to get that. In addition, the last part of our system is the support. We provide one-on-one mentorship because, and one of the things that I loved about Symmetry when I first started with the company was that my mentors did not make an income until I went out and made a sale and made an income for myself. So your mentors that are working with you aren't being paid just to be sales trainers. They're being paid to help you be successful. In addition, we have our weekly conference calls, webinars, MP3s that we have. We have local, regional, and national training meetings that we're able to do to provide you with the training that you need to continue to be successful and learn and grow with what you're able to do. So going from the system that we have, how does it start? Well, it starts with our sample lead. Here's a sample of what we do, the lead that we have that you're going to be able to use to meet with your client. So this is a good example of what a basic lead looks like. So you're going to go out and you're going to talk with this particular client, would have had a $284,000 mortgage with Bank of America. They received this at their home. They looked at this lead and they said, this is something that is going to be beneficial to me and my family. Let me go ahead and fill this out and get some more information. So they filled out their date of birth, sex, whether they're a smoker. They filled out that same information for their spouse, what their occupation was, number, best time to call. And they fill this out and send this back to us. And this is what we predicate our sale upon, is that particular lead. That's what you're going to be working. That's who you're going to be calling. And there's someone who they're looking for something. Now, when we go out into the home and sit with this family, and in this case, this was Joe, and Joe sent this in, I know that if I sit with two Joes, one of them is in a position that they're ready to make a purchase from us. If I show them how this coverage will protect their family and we fit that price in their budget, 1 out of 2 of them are ready to make a purchase for us. And that's what our system is predicated on. So that's the lead. So once we have this lead, the next thing that we talk about is, well, how are we compensated on that? What's the compensation plan look like? And we're going to break this down in 3 different perspectives. So for some of you, you may be looking to say, okay, I'm doing something else full-time right now. I don't need this to be my full-time position, but it'd be great if I could make an extra $1,000 or $2,000. And that's where we'll talk about the part-time position. The full-time position is, you're saying, I've been in the insurance industry, or I'm in the industry that I'm trying to get out of, and I need this to provide a full-time income for me and my family. And we'll talk about that. And the final position or place that we'll talk about is, if I'm looking to do this as a business and build something from this, that it's not just going to be about the time that I put in, but I want to leverage my time. And that's one of those balance things that we talk about with Symmetry, is that if you can do this on a personal level, you can also build this as a business. And we'll talk about the business building side of this as well. So let's start off with the part-time sales position. So what does that look like? When I go out and sit with, as our sample lead showed you, when I go out and sit with Joe, if I'm able to sit down with him and help him out with coverage, the average sale that we do for one of our clients is about $80 to $85 a month. So that means that they're paying $80 to $85 a month to make sure that his, and for Joe, it was, if you look back, it was a $284,000 mortgage. We're able to help him make sure that if he was to pass away, either that mortgage is one, going to be paid off, or two, that the mortgage payments are going to be made so that his wife doesn't have to worry about foreclosure or turning that house back over to the bank and losing whatever equity they built into it. And we're able to make sure that that's taken care of for either a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then during that period of time, she can figure out what she's going to do, whether that's sell the home or make a easy exit from that situation without having to worry about losing that equity. So on a part-time sales position, if I'm going out and meeting with, say, 5 to 6 families in a given day during that week, so a lot of our part-time agents, they'll go out and work either a Monday or Tuesday evening, sitting with 5 to 6 families on that particular day, and we know that about half of those families are in a position where they're ready to make a purchase. So of those half, if I close let's say 2 sales a week over the course of the month, or let's say that over the course of the month that I have 6 sales that I'm able to make. And here's the example that we're showing you here. That's going to take me about 10 to 20 hours to get that done. And by 10 to 20 hours, I'm saying you're spending some time on the phone booking your appointments, and of course you're spending some time out in the field meeting with your clients. That average sale is about $1,000 in annual premium volume. And the way that that works is that $80 to $85 a month that the client is paying for, the insurance carriers that we work with, and those carriers are carriers such as, you know, ING, American Amicable, United Home Life. Those are just some of the carriers we work with. We have over 38 that we work with, but they look at the annual premium that that client is paying. So if I'm selling 6 of those a month, all right, so 1 to 2 per week, that's $6,000. Our commission level, as you see on the left-hand side of the screen, starts at 60% and it goes up to 110%. So on that 60% contract level, on $6,000 versus worth of sales, and then the insurance carriers are going to advance me 75% of that as soon as that policy issues. And the great thing with the type of sales that we do, we work at a niche market as far as mortgage protection. So this is a market where we do simplified issue. A lot of carriers have fully underwritten, and we can write fully underwritten products for our clients, but we start off with simplified issue because we can definitely get that coverage for our clients. And this allows that to be issued in a period of anywhere from 3 to 5 business days. And 3 to 5 business days after I write this volume, that's $6,000 worth of annual premium, I'm looking at, over the course of that month, being paid $2,700 in commissions. So you take that out over the course of the year if you're on a part-time basis and you just do 6 policies a month, do that consistently, and you get those 6 policies issued and you get paid your advance, you're looking at $32,400 in gross commissions that you're paid on an annual basis. And I'll talk about why I say gross commissions versus net. The leads that we get, we split the cost of the marketing with Symmetry Financial Group. And talk with the person who invited you to watch this video, and they can kind of break down the scale of what we do on that split. But typically, agents are spending about, if you're on a part-time basis, anywhere from $100 to $200 a week, or call it $400 a month, $400 to $800 a month on what their lead cost is. All right, so you can talk with the person who invited you to watch this video, and they can kind of break that down for you. But that kind of shows you what the gross income is on a part-time basis is. Now, what about those of you who are looking at us from a full-time position? So from a full-time sales position, we're looking at agents averaging about 5 sales per week, so 20 sales per month. Again, we go back to that average of $80 a month that the client is paying, or $1,000 in annualized premium that they're paying to the insurance carriers. So you're talking about doing about $20,000 a month in sales. Now, as you do these sales, you're going to start to see your commission level increase. So 60% is our starting contract, but every 2 months you can see an increase in your commission level based on the production that you do. And so to go from a 60%, and again, this is on the left-hand side of the screen that you're looking at right now, if you go from a 60% to a 65%, that means you've done more than $7,500 in sales for the last 2 months. To go from a 65 to a 70%, you've done more than 10,000 for the last 2 months. So we're looking at a full-time sales position going out and doing 20,000 a month. So your average over the course of the year, your average commission rate should be around 75%. Again, there's a 75% advance, and to explain that advance just a little bit more, the insurance companies look at this as saying, if you sell a policy to a client, we're pretty sure that they're going to pay their premium for at least 9 months. And so they're going to advance you that 9 months worth of premium that that client is paying. As long as that client pays the full year, they're going to, of course, advance you the full 100%. But that's why we have that advance. But going with that, 20,000 in sales for the month, 75% commission, 75% advance, you're looking at about $11,250 in gross income per month, or over the course of the year, you're talking about $135,000 for the year in gross commissions paid. Now, an agent who's working on a full-time basis, you may say, okay, you said there was a cost of the leads. What are they going to spend on that? If you're working on a full-time basis, you're going to spend around $20,000 a year in your marketing budget. All right, so what you're going to spend on your leads, on your marketing, the split that you do with Symmetry is going to be around 20,000. So you're looking at around 110 to 115,000 as your net for the year. And that's what we're looking at on a full-time basis. Again, results may vary. It depends on you going out and making sure that you get your 5 applications a week. And that comes from that one-on-one mentorship that you get. That's coming from you plugging into the system of conference calls and webinars that we have, and plugging into the local and regional and also our national meetings that we do, so that you can be trained up to do the best whenever you're out there meeting with your clients. So the last thing that we're going to talk about real quickly is how you can take the full-time sales position or even the part-time sales position and turn that into a management position. So from a management position, with the commission levels that we have, agents being able to start at a 60% and go to 110%, let's say that you were an agent, and this is just a quick example, not really on your screen right now, but if you were at an 80% contract and you hired a new agent and you taught them how to do the things that you did, and they were on a 60% contract, they go out and sell one policy, and it's an average policy. You know, there's $80, $85 a month for the client, $1,000 in annual premium volume. They've gotten paid their advance commit. So they've made $450 in advance. They're expecting another $150 in commissions by the end of the year. You, as their mentor, the person who taught them how to do what they do, the insurance carriers are going to pay you the difference between your contract and their contract. So you're on the 80%, they're on the 60%. So that 20% difference on that $1,000 annual premium volume is $200. You're going to be advanced 75% or $150. And then at the end of the year, you're going to get the remainder of that, the last $50, as long as that policy stays on the books. What this can grow into, as you see, if we call it agency manager, and you help 3 other individuals get to that position. So you hire, whether it's people that you know, people that you feel like are at your ambition level or higher, people that you may have seen on Career Builder or Monster or any of the other. I mean, right now on Career Builder, there are over 77 million resumes of people looking for jobs. They're looking for opportunities to do better than what they're doing now. So however it is that we identify and find these people, we find individuals who are looking for something more, and you help them develop to that point where between themselves and agents that they've hired, they have an organization that's over $50,000 a month in volume. So that's saying that if the average policy that we write is $1,000 in annual premium, they are selling 50 of those a month as a team, as a group. So let's say you have 3 of those teams doing $50,000 a month. So you as an organization are doing $150,000 a month in volume. Part of your job, part of what you have, your responsibilities in the management position is to make sure that those people are supported through the SFG system. That is the mentorship, that is plugging them into the conference calls, plugging them into the local meetings. If you're running that kind of an organization, your average spread, so let's say you're on a 95% and your average team is on an 80%. So that would say your average spread is about 15%. So you could take that $150,000 worth of volume that your team is doing, the 15% spread that the insurance carriers are paying you for them that you've been able to generate by developing that team. Of course, there's that 75% advance. So now your total gross income is going to be $16,875 a month. Now, at this particular level, you're not necessarily spending any money on the leads that these agents are out there. That's one of the great things that Symmetry has done, is that we as managers do not have to bear the cost of that marketing lead cost that agents are having to pay. All right, so agents are taking care of their own lead costs. Your job and your cost is making sure that they're supported in a way that they get a return on the investment that they're into that. So when you look at the gross annual income that you could potentially be making at the management level with 3 agency manager organizations, you're looking at around $202,500 as gross income, but there's very little, unless you want to invest more in your team, very little actual to that income that you're getting in. So your net should be very close to that $202,000 in income. So that's the basic system. That's just a couple of different examples, guys. As you're watching this, there's a lot of different ways we can work these numbers, and all depends on what you're dependent on. If you're going to come in and work with us and work to develop either that personal production volume or develop a business system, that's going to determine what your income is going to be. What I would advise you to do at this point in time, the next step that you can potentially take, is if this system if what we're talking about makes sense to you in this quick video, and this is not everything, this is again a quick video just to give you an introduction. Think of 3 reasons why this might be a fit for you. And if you think of 3 reasons that this might be a fit and that you think that this be something that would be beneficial to you and what your career to look like over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, email those reasons back to the person that sent this video to you. After they receive that, they'll review that and they'll set up a time to speak with you and go into a little bit more detail about how this might work for you and whether or not you're a fit for us and we're a fit for you. At that point in time, we can make a decision of should we partner together, should we work together, and what can we do in the future based on the system that we have. So again, I really appreciate you guys taking time to watch this video and give it your full attention. Definitely, I hope you took some good notes. Ask questions of the person that sent you whenever you send those 3 reasons back, and we look forward to partnering with you and building a business team together with you. Thank you again for your time, and we hope to talk to you soon.